Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Fabiola Mora. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I serve as the director of the Academic Advancement Center. If you're a graduate and you didn't fill out a card with your name phonetically, we're gonna shortly be passing out cards, so just make sure that you catch someone's attention. There's gonna be folks walking around handing out cards so that when we get to the graduate recognition, you will just hand that card to us and we'll read your name. So I will make sure that you get a card. So I wanna begin by, we're gonna start with the land acknowledgement video, and then we'll start the program.
Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples.
This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other Native nations.
We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it.
As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed.
CSU is a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion.
And significantly, that our founding came at a dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon.
This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment.
Thank you, everyone. As we celebrate tonight, we hope that you will stay grounded in the land acknowledgement and honoring the people and the place that we currently occupy. I also want to extend a warm welcome to all of the Academic Advancement Center community, to the families, friends, and loved ones who are joining us. We also welcome CSU administrators, faculty, staff, and community members who serve as our advocates for our students, mentors, and champions of the AAC. We recognize that we don't do this work alone, and the presence of all of you here tonight demonstrates that the community of support and love surrounding the AAC students is great. I want to name just first, how exciting it is to be here together in person. We haven't been able to celebrate our graduating students in person since December 2019. So it's been 2.5 years that we've been able to gather like this. And we feel really excited and thankful that you all have chosen to spend your evening with us today. We also want to say that the AAC staff acknowledges the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact it has had on all of you, particularly our students and the communities that they're coming from. We know things have not been easy, both academically and personally, and have heard many of your stories of your struggles over the last few years. We are holding the seriousness of this pandemic and its lasting impacts along with this celebratory event. We can hold all of these things in their complexities and their contradictions. So thank you again for joining us tonight. I want to begin by sharing a little bit about the Academic Advancement Center, or how we refer to it, the AAC. The AAC is a structured program that supports students from the first year that they're here at CSU, whether they're coming as first-year students or transfer students, through their graduation. And since its inception nearly 45 years ago, the Academic Advancement Center has served and graduated thousands of students who identify as first generation and students of color and/or have limited income, disability, and undocumented status backgrounds. The first TRIO Student Support Services grant was awarded to CSU's Black Student Services Program, now known as the Black African American Cultural Center, and was dedicated to supporting student athletes, and that was more than 40 years ago. This later transitioned to create what is now known as the Academic Advancement Center. And over the last 4 years, the AAC has grown to include an institutionally supported program and an additional TRIO program focused on students who are in STEM fields. So tonight, we are celebrating students from across all of those programs. And as I thought about what to share tonight, I thought a lot about dreams. When I reflect on my own educational journey as a first-generation Mexicana who was undocumented and who came from a limited income background, I think about my dreams, the possibilities that I hoped for, and imagining all the things that could be different in the world. This radical imagination, as author Adrienne Marie Brown names, helped me dream about what it could be to create more just and humane world, even in spaces and systems like higher education, where my humanity wasn't and isn't always honored. And I witnessed this radical imagination in AAC students every single day. AAC students, your dreams, your visions of the future, your ideas about the possibilities are radical imagination. Your radical imagination is what will lead to a more just world. Actively practicing this imagination is actually healing work. It is healing because it actively challenges what society and this world tries to reduce us with minoritized identities to. As an AAC staff, we are committed not only to helping you navigate systems of higher education, but to creating spaces where you can imagine and dream, and where you can reclaim your wholeness, where you are reminded of your enoughness, of your belonging, and of your brilliance. The AAC is so deeply committed to challenging, dismantling, and reconstructing systems and spaces that allow you to pursue all the things that you can imagine. For many of our students, the AAC is where you have felt the most welcomed, celebrated, and loved. This type of community is what sustains our students to move forward year to year, to come to work with us and support other students, and to reach their goal of graduation. Tonight, we will celebrate the dreams and the accomplishments of our students, which started in their imaginations. And we will celebrate all of the staff who supported them in realizing those dreams. To AAC students and graduates, thank you for choosing us to be on this journey with you and for sharing your stories with us. We value you, your presence, your passion for everything you do, and your commitment to your education. You truly make CSU a different and a better place. To the graduates, this is such a special time in your CSU journey. For many historically excluded students in higher education, like those served by the AAC, educational systems have not always been kind to us. But this celebration and this moment right here is a reminder that you belong in these spaces. Your presence on this campus is a form of resistance that pushes our campus to do better for you. Don't let this degree, though, this one thing, define all of who you are. You were incredible before it, too. Let it open doors and opportunities and take advantage of all the tools it provided you with as you move on to your next journey. For all of our students, not only do we face challenges and barriers in education, but we also find communities like this, communities rooted in love, who nourish and support us in beautiful ways. Let this community be a reminder of all of those who have your back, a reminder that you have a place and people to come to when you need it. I just want everyone also to just take a moment and look around this room and take it all in. All of these people are here to celebrate you. We hope that you recognize and acknowledge your own contributions to your success and that you take some time to connect with those who have played a critical role in helping you get here. As mentioned earlier, the success of the AAC students is truly a community effort. There are folks in this room that represent departments across campus who support and contribute to the success of our students. We, the AAC, could not do the work we do without partnerships with you all. Please know that this is also a celebration of you and the incredible work you pour into our students. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Please join me in welcoming Diana de la Cruz Aparicio to the stage and let's celebrate.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches a todos. My name is Diana de la Cruz Aparicio, and I am a retention specialist in the Academic Advancement Center. I am so happy to see you all today. There are so many students that I haven't seen in a long time, so I'm just overjoyed. So I have the honor of introducing our first graduating student speaker, who also happens to be a student that I've worked with since our first semester here at CSU. So I'm going to take you back to fall semester 2019, like Fabiola had said. This student was starting off in their first year. I was starting off as a retention specialist in my first semester. We were both figuring it out. Well, I feel like I was still trying to figure it out, but the student was like doing great, thriving, all the things, and continued to do great throughout their entire time. And it was just amazing to see and witness. And so since then, it's been an honor to have witnessed all the growth and great things that the student has been doing on campus. And I'm always just in awe. And I feel like the student never really needed a lot of the support, just talked through a lot of their dreams and hopes and just made it happen. And it was so amazing. There's this fire that I see in the student that I know they'll carry with them in their next steps and will do amazing things. And so I hope that you can continue holding on to this fire. Es un honor haber sido parte de tu experiencia durante tu tiempo en la universidad y como mis papás siempre dicen, continúa echándole ganas. Please help me welcome our first graduating student speaker, Perla Hurtado Flores.
Hello. Sorry. Faculty, family, friends, and class of 2022, it is a great honor to be here with you today. I wish to personally introduce myself once again. My name is Perla Hurtado Flores. I am an upcoming graduate for the spring class of 2022, and I have also had the wonderful opportunity of being a student at the AAC. After much time apart, we finally hold the opportunity of coming together to celebrate the accomplishments of our students. We have made it a long way, and I could not be prouder of the way that this class has overcome adversity and hardships. From the beginning of a pandemic that shut down our universities to online classes, and then the reintroduction of in-person learning, our strength and determination has led the path not only for the successes of our individual state, but also for the younger generations that are to follow. I want to personally thank the AAC staff and faculty for giving me the opportunity to take a few minutes and congratulate the graduating class, and most importantly, for believing in my potential throughout my own college career. Thank you to all the CSU staff, faculty, and volunteers for joining us on this special day as we celebrate the accomplishments of our students. Thank you to families and friends who join us tonight. We couldn't be here without your love and your support. And most importantly, I want to say not only thank you, but a very warm congratulations to our graduating students. I could not be more proud of what this student body has been able to achieve. You have shown yourself worthy of walking across the graduating stage. The AAC has been a major support in my own college career. From tutoring sessions to monthly check-ins with Diana, the AAC gave me a sense to hope and hope to achieve my own dreams. I have a lot to be grateful for, a lot to thank a little office located on the corner of our university's campus. The AAC has made me realize that there are people who are rooting for my own and my peers' success, and that despite the outer oppressions and the exterior forces that try to bring us down, there are friendly faces who root for the triumph of our students, regardless of where they come from, and to this, once again, I wish to say thank you. On February 22nd of this year, it marked the 20th anniversary of my arrival to the United States from Durango, Mexico, where I was born. An arrival that to this day continues to be a battleground for political discussion and somewhat immigrant scapegoating. When people see me standing up here, however, they see a person who seems to somewhat have her life together. They see an upcoming graduate whose parents must be so proud of. However, although these opinions are nothing far from flattering, these are only half-truths. The reality is that through the exterior of academics, there lies a deeper syndrome that imposes insecurity. Being a woman, first generation, brown, and undocumented, you could say that although my accomplishments, I have many odds against me. My unexpected realities, although not outspoken in public, continue to be the constant presence of missed opportunities and higher expectations. And although not all of us here share the same struggles or come from the same desert roads, we do share some commonalities, our sentiments, our emotional response to hurt, pain, and rejection, the commonality of wanting to belong in an institution such as this one, a commonality of wanting to survive for the sake of your loved ones, the commonality of wanting to dream and achieve. And as our identity becomes a topic of discussion for worthiness, we still keep going. Education is the moral train to liberation. Education is an opportunity to stand forth in a world in which the odds seem to always be against you. The wisest person I know is a high school dropout, my father. My father used to tell me that he never let schooling get in front of his education. He was an aspiring engineer that got kicked out of school in '91 and who many years later kneels on hot roofs for hours at a time. That even though he wasn't able to make it past high school, it didn't stop him from getting an education. He taught himself how to work, he taught himself how to speak English, and he taught himself how to survive for the sake of his family in a country that was not known to him. And in the midst of immigrant fear, he became the prophecy of resiliency that was dreamed of a very long time ago. He stood up and decided that in the midst of border wars, my father was going to stand up and he was going to be a man. Not a brown man, not a black man, not a white man, but a man. He challenged himself to be the best that he could possibly be, to be successful not on the basis of the expectation of an institution, but on his own capability to be caring and to be loving. My sister is a college graduate. I am to be a college graduate. Yet no one in the family is as smart as high school dropout daddy, a high school dropout who always told me that it wasn't about where you came from, it was about heart. That it didn't matter that I sat down in a classroom with people next to me who had received higher SAT scores, came from Ivy League high schools, or had turned down more college offers than I did. That at the end of the day, no matter where I came from, no matter what I'd gone through, and no matter how many people thought that I wouldn't make it, I had to have enough heart to keep going and to keep pushing. When I first applied to CSU, I was denied admission. It was a couple months before my high school graduation, and I received a letter from the admissions board letting me know that at that time, they weren't going to offer me a spot in their school. It had turned out that I had failed to impress the admissions board with my low SAT scores. It was believed that I would flunk out my first semester of college, or that at best, I would end up on academic probation. In other words, I would become the embarrassing statistic, a reference to stereotypical hatred and an example of what not to be. And in this devastation and disappointment in myself, I remembered what my father had told me, that it wasn't about where I came from, what I had done wrong, or how I had done things in the past, that I needed to have heart and enough determination to receive an education to get where I wanted to go. I needed to value it enough to try again, to try harder, to show myself worthy, even if it was for one last time. And after building the courage to do so, I reapplied again and was later granted admission for that upcoming 2019 fall. What was believed I wouldn't do, I did. And after my first semester of college, instead of flunking out, I passed the semester at the top of my class, and instead of being on academic probation, I was able to make pathway to graduate from my undergrad a year early. In a generation, from the hot desert of the Mexican southern border to a graduating stage. Familial structures, traditions, expectations have long perpetrated us. The differences of opinion between what is to be and what we really are have interfered with our response and inflicted the emotional barrier. But through the midst of all these crises, we are resilient and able to fire down the structure of what is loneliness. And as you continue on, move on from what is college and your time here at CSU, you are going to encounter the biggest challenge yet, life. There are going to be many times in which life will drop you down and it will give you the hard no. It will impede you from creating a future for yourself. It will judge you based on your past mistakes, on what you don't have, or where you don't come from. But you have to have heart, enough heart to make the inevitable be not so terrifying, to let hope become a reality, and that despite where you come from, you know that your destiny is only a mere attachment to what that truly is. You will receive a lot of no's in this life, rejection, I'm sorry to inform you, but you don't qualify for our candidacy. Many hard and long nights where it seems that the only thing you hear is the hard no. But I ask of you today to not be afraid of the no's. Be afraid of the possibility of a yes that you have prematurely destroyed because you decided to quit before the clock strikes 12. I challenge you to fight, to keep going, to not stop here, to continue being the legacy, the outcome of sacrifices, the consequence of hard work, the inspiration for the younger generation, the tell-all at college graduations, the future on the steps of Capitol Hill, the pride arrival at your parents' home, the need to have heart regardless of where you come from. Dreams are lovely, but they are just dreams. Fleeting, pretty, but dreams do not come true just because you dream them. It's hard work that makes things happen. It's hard work that creates change. You are what was buried and what turned out to be a seed. You are a wild dream, a purpose and a fulfillment. You are the pinpoint, the new healing journey and generational trauma. You are the fighting moment that is to burn down injustice, discrimination, and the ideology of hatred. You are the promise after sacrifice. You are the reason for inspiration towards success and the abandonment of mediocrity. You are the reason for my congratulations today. You are more than the statistics, more than the placed expectations. You are the hope. You are the change. You are the face of resiliency, the face of our new day. Thank you.
Thank you, Perla, so much for sharing your story with us and for sharing those words. I'm fired up right now. I don't even know what to say, but it was just beautiful. It was so lovely. Thank you very much. My name is Tim Kofalis, he, him, his. I am the Assistant Director for Administration and Assessment here at the AAC, and...
Hello. For those of you who I haven't met, Sarah Rodriguez, she, her pronouns. I have the pleasure of serving as the Assistant Director of the AAC. So now it's our part. As you can imagine, it takes a lot to run the center, the Academic Advancement Center, in order to have the impact that it does, and clearly it does. Thank you for sharing that with us tonight. We stay busy. As Fabiola mentioned before, we don't do it alone. We do it with all of you and your support. At this time, we want to turn our focus to our student staff. We want to take the moment to recognize their creativity, their curiosity, and their community. They help us be the AAC. We have around 35 student staff across the AAC serving in different roles, such as administrative support, program coordinators, peer mentors, and academic tutors. Many of these folks are also AAC participants, and all of these folks are amazing humans who hold space for each other, our students, and our greater vision towards access and equity.
If I could ask any student staff who are here to stand up and get a little bit of recognition for all your hard work for the AAC. Anybody?
Anybody?
Yeah. We can't capture 100% of what the student staff have achieved and accomplished these past couple of semesters, but we do want to highlight just a few things that the student staff have championed and pioneered and organized. We've had our events planning committee put together a wonderful skate night for students, went out to Rollerland, did some great roller skating. Our administrative support staff are currently working on or have passed their Excel certification exams to be able to take those new skills both out into the world and to apply them back to administrative work at the AAC. It's amazing stuff they're doing. Peer mentors have worked to coordinate fall cleanup and are working on CS Unity, which I believe is coming up very, very soon, like on Saturday. Our academic program staff have coordinated and executed hundreds and hundreds of hours of small group and one-on-one tutoring these past 2 semesters. They're doing amazing things with academic programs. Our peer mentors, I checked this number today, have had 93 one-on-one meetings with students this semester alone, and we're only looking to expand those opportunities for more peer-to-peer connections, so they're doing amazing work there. And our administrative support and peer mentor staff have worked pretty diligently to do student outreach and orientation programs. We just had 37 UB students, Upward Bound students, visiting our office today, and a lot of our student staff were there to support, answer questions, and show them around our office. Lastly, our events and media coordinator has worked really hard these past several years, and I believe she is graduating. Angie, do you happen to be here? Woo! Getting all our social media pieces out, getting our newsletter out each week, keeping everybody in the office informed of what's going on and all the amazing stuff that's going on. But again, this doesn't even begin to capture all the work that our student staff have done. We appreciate so much the presence, the work, the perspective, the voices that our student staff provide to us, and we just want to say thank you once again.
Thanks again to our student staff. At this time, we want to give a special recognition to our student staff who will not be returning. Whether they are moving on to different opportunities or graduating themselves, we would not be who we are without their work. Student staff who are not returning, please stand for recognition and well wishes. Thank you. We also have 2 incredible humans who have been helping to support the AAC and transition over the past year. We'd be amiss not to recognize them as they go on to the next steps of their journey. Joel Barraza Nava and Santiago Martinez, can you please stand? Thank you. They've been integral to working tirelessly with our tutoring program, academic programming, serving as retention specialists and meeting with caseloads of students. And we wanted to say thank you for your work as well. And at this time, I invite Ricky up to the podium.
Thank you, Tim and Sarah. My name is Ricky Guzman. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am one of the retention specialists and coordinator for programs and events on the AAC Classic side. I have the honor of introducing our next graduating student speaker. I met David at the start of 2020 after he transferred to CSU as a political science major. I remember our first meeting and hearing how bright and passionate David is about his education and his path forward to law school. He knew everything wasn't going to be completely smooth, but he didn't let that scare him off either. As the pandemic came and shifted our lives into uncertainty, I really came to look forward to my chats with David. Despite everything that gave us worry, David approached things with a deep insight and tremendous love for his family, for that what drove him. and especially during the toughest times that year brought for us. I am so fortunate to have been able to get to know David and this student throughout the years, and I look forward to hearing about the great things that he will do, and no doubt, in the future. Please help me welcome to the stage David Martinez.
Good evening. My name is David Martinez. I am a first-generation college student. I am a Latino who was born in the border town of El Paso, Texas. I grew up on the west side of Denver. I attended public schools where seeing black and brown children was the norm and not the exception. Due to this fact, the schools I grew up attending always lacked resources. This played a major role in my readiness for higher education. 2016 was my freshman year at Colorado State University. It was the first time that seeing black and brown folks was the exception and not the norm. It was the first time my classes were not filled with students that faced similar injustices as myself. Instead, it was filled with students who had an abundance of resources allocated to them. These students were not worried about surviving, they were worried about thriving, a new concept to me. 2016 was also the year Donald Trump was elected president. My welcome moment to Fort Collins occurred at the plaza outside of this very building. I saw students building a wall that said, "Make America Great Again." Donald Trump spewed hate rhetoric amongst my people. He stated that my people were rapists, drug dealers, and killers. I was attending a school where people believed this to be true, as their interactions with Mexicans was limited to mainstream media and not real-world experiences. Not only did I have to endure this type of hate on my campus, I also had to deal with imposter syndrome. I did not believe to be adequately prepared for higher education. I did not understand why I was here. Thus, I withdrew from the university and headed back home. At the moment, I felt as though I had failed during my time at CSU. I enrolled at Red Rocks Community College, where interactions with professors was much more feasible. I met professors that would change my life and tap into the love I have for knowledge. However, in a few months, I understood why my path led me back to Denver. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. I would not allow my mother to endure this battle alone. I thoroughly remember doing my homework as my mom was undergoing chemotherapy. She would brag to the nurses that her son was going to be a lawyer. This journey my mother embarked on allowed for our relationship to blossom. Less than a year later, she had beaten the disease that threatened to take her life. It was at this moment I understood the power of perseverance and faith. I also began to understand the interconnectedness of everything, that things truly happen for a reason. I graduated from Red Rocks in 2019. I immediately knew that I would be returning to CSU to finish what I had started. I moved back into Fort Collins in January 2020. For 3 months, I was beginning to thrive at CSU. Then, a respiratory illness by the name of COVID-19 hit. I had initially thought the lockdown would last a few weeks and I would return to campus after spring break. As we all know, I could not have been more wrong. I began to attend the new phenomena, Zoom University. This new form of learning had an impact on my knowledge retention and the way I socialized with fellow human beings. I was stuck in a basement with no windows for 20 hours of my day. I began battling with depression. My thoughts were no longer filled with happiness, but with despair. I could not indulge in my coping mechanisms as the pandemic drastically impacted all socialization. I was no longer happy with the man I saw in the mirror. There was a very important AAC staff member that helped me through this journey, Ricky Guzman. Ricky pointed me to mental health resources on campus, but more importantly, he listened to me and the pain I was going through. Vibrations and energy are very powerful. Ricky's vibes were able to pierce through a computer screen. His loving and kind soul helped me endure a very dark and difficult time of my life, and for that I am forever thankful. I was scheduled to graduate in the spring of 2021, but my mental health issues forced me to postpone it by a full year. I was distraught and unsure why I was going through yet another obstacle. I would soon understand. In the summer of 2021, I became a part of the program Law School Si Se Puede. It is an organization that wants to create a pipeline into the legal field for underrepresented students. Thanks to this program, I was able to land a job at the Colorado Public Defender's Office. I take pride in the work I do as we help represent the vulnerable folks within society. I also had the opportunity to attend a summer legal academy through the University of Miami. I was able to perform an oral argument in front of a federal district court judge. It was at this moment that becoming a lawyer was no longer a pipe dream, but something attainable and in my grasp. Due to my graduation postponement, I was able to do an internship for Representative Soleil Gonzalez, a humble and beautiful soul who has fought against the school-to-prison pipeline. She introduced a bill that will outlaw police from lying to children as an interrogation tactic. While I enjoyed my time at the Capitol, it has made me question our legal, political, and educational institutions. Looking at the history of these institutions, it is quite clear that they are not interested in meeting our needs. Thus, I ask, where do we go from here? I urge everyone here today to begin to critically think about these institutions. I ask that we begin to foster new and transformative solutions to take on the injustices that plague our communities. I ask that we begin to develop community cohesion and stop relying on these institutions to solve our problems. My story, as well as all of yours, is filled with both struggles and success. Progress can only be achieved through struggle. My achievements cannot be solely attributed to myself. With every step and breath I take, you can feel my ancestors. You can feel the people who I've crossed paths with throughout my life journey. I am eternally grateful for all who have shown me love and for all who have shown me what it means to be human. I would love to leave you with a favorite quote of mine. I am not interested in whether you have stood with the great. I am interested in whether you have sat with the broken. Thank you, and all power to the people.
You're good, you're good. Thank you so much, David. That was wonderful. My name is Audrey Heron, and I use she, her pronouns. I am a retention specialist and also our Arrive coordinator here at the AAC.
Thank you, Audrey. My name is Marianne Lucero, the Associate Director of the AAC. My pronouns are she, hers. The AAC is grounded and committed to supporting students from enrollment through graduation, with our end-of-year celebration serving as a reminder that graduation is a process that begins years earlier as a first-time student at CSU. To recognize and celebrate each accomplishment that leads to graduation, we, the AAC, invite our first-time students to our end-of-year celebration. One of the first steps in everyone's journey here at the AAC is participating in our Arrive program. Arrive is intended to help first-time students create meaningful community while simultaneously helping students explore, reflect on, and apply success strategies that will help them through their academic year. This semester, we have 50 first-year Arrive students enroll in our 10-week seminar. Not only did our Arrive students complete a 10-week seminar, but they also met with a peer mentor at least once and met with their retention specialist at least twice. It has been a privilege to witness the energy and commitment of our Arrive students while also looking forward to their own future graduation that we will also be celebrating.
So to our current Arrive students, we are so proud of your bravery and persistence this semester. In addition to navigating all the demands of your academic courses, we've consistently asked you to expand your comfort zone this semester as you engage with a variety of topics, which included things like community, identity, academic and undergraduate research, mentor mapping, and financial literacy. You sought out and made projects about CSU resources, academic supports and strategies, and self-care. And on top of all that, you even identified and connected with a potential future mentor to help you work towards your goals. So as we wrap up this seminar, you're currently even in the process of creating a presentation about how you plan to engage even more with the AAC and CSU for the remainder of your time here at CSU. So you have learned and grown a lot this semester. And at this moment, we'd really like to take an opportunity to celebrate your efforts and the completion of your first year with the AAC and possibly at CSU. So if you're a current Arrive student, please stand or wave as you are able so we may appreciate all your hard work this semester. I see a lot of familiar faces that I think should be standing. Come, maybe even just wave if you would like. There we go, okay. Awesome. So it's okay to be proud of your accomplishments. So thank you so much. And now I would like to invite Stephanie up to the stage to introduce our next student speaker.
everyone. Buenas noches. Thanks for your patience as I get up here. My name is Stephanie Cuevas. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. And today I have the honor to welcome our very last presenter, graduate student presenter. So certainly but not least, I'm super excited to introduce them to the stage. So our next presenter for the night is Soleil Gonzalez. I have had the privilege of working with Soleil during the 2021-2022 school year, which happened to be their last year at CSU and also my first full year in my role as a retention specialist with the AAC. During this time, I have witnessed how Soleil has grown in the last 2 semesters and has just explored all of the bittersweet journey that comes with being in your last year, both the excitement and the nervousness and all the feelings in between. I have witnessed how Soleil has navigated this journey and just also learned of all the awesome opportunities that lie ahead for them. Coming post-graduation, they have the greatest problem of having nothing but great options to choose from. And so I wish nothing but more of those great problems for their life ahead. Soleil has touched many lives on campus through all of their involvements, as many of you might already know them and or will soon come to hear of all of their involvements as well. As Soleil has touched the lives of others on campus, I can definitely say that they have also touched my life within these last 2 semesters, and so I'm just super proud of all of the work that they're doing and that they will continue to do, because again, they have nothing but good options to look forward to, and that's the best problem that you can have. So with that, just wanting to welcome Soleil, who has the most tender heart of both fierce and kind energy. So please give a round of applause and welcome Soleil Gonzalez to the stage.
All right, so I'm gonna have to fix this because I'm a tall one. Hi, everyone. Okay, yes, you have all known, my name is Soleil. So my full name is Soleil Gonzalez. I've also been known as Haley in the past, but I'm in the process of changing my name. And so that's something that's very new from this past semester. I use they, them pronouns, as you have heard, and so I am a queer Latinx student, standing very proud here to present to you about a little bit of myself in a story, right? And so first off, good evening, y buenas tardes y buenas noches to everyone. Thank you all for being here, for just supporting students who are on their way to be graduating, but also those folks that are also in their process of graduating, right? Because graduating is such a huge step. Getting an education is even bigger than that. And so I want to start off by saying congratulations to all the seniors, because we're almost there. We're about to walk across the stage and get that, just the folder, not even the diploma itself. So just bear with it, and eventually you'll get that diploma within 6 to 8 months, according to Round Web, right? So as I prepared for this speech, I had so many thoughts, experiences, and growth that I wanted to share with you all, because I've been here for 5 years. I've been through so much here at CSU. I came in as a first-generation student and leaving as a first-generation student that I'm so proud to be. So I'm actually the first one in my entire family from both sides of my mom and my dad to ever graduate. And so this is a huge thing for me, and to stand up here to share a little bit about myself is really important. So when I started at the AAC, it was my second semester, my first year. And then I worked as a student staff member, which it used to be group navigator. Now it's kind of peer mentor. Things are changing. Terms are changing too, so that's good. But I met the most amazing people I got to work with there. I got to interact with so many students now that I see sitting at these tables, and I'm like, yay, you're almost there. You're almost graduating, which makes me so happy because I got to see you flourish, and now you're going to blossom into who you are. And so co-facilitating the seminars is what started my passion and my fuel for my future. I love to talk to folks. I love to educate folks. I like to facilitate a lot of safe zone sessions, as my boss knows. And so that's my passion. My passion is to connect with people, to really embody the experience of what it means to be a human, because being a human is really, really hard, and a lot of us know that. And so when I was working through the AAC, I got to find different pieces of myself that I have lost for a really long time. I gained confidence, encouragement, love, and support from everyone, especially Mitch, who was my retention specialist and left CSU, but now Stephanie being my retention specialist now, and everyone else at the AAC really gained a lot of knowledge that helped me further my expectations of what I wanted to obtain in my education. And so through this confidence and strength, I learned to communicate in a way that feels authentic to who I am and to what I want to do in the future. So yes, after graduation, I do have a lot of stuff lined up, but that's because I worked my butt off to do it. It wasn't something easy, and I'm continuing to create opportunities for myself because then again, it's been something that I've had to do. It's not something that I've had an opportunity to say, oh yeah, I have this option, but most importantly, it's because I wanted to as well. And so that's the thing about journeys, right? You find yourself in various aspects. Whether you're thinking about it or not, you're creating the next best version of yourself, and that's what's important. Oftentimes, the thing about purpose, it feels super high pressured, and it's filled with all these expectations that you need to be this great monumental person, but just your existence itself, you being here itself, is monumental. It's exceptional. It's necessary. And so when I think about support, when I think about community and how that plays into purpose, I think about what it means to be authentic for yourself. So I like to engage in a lot of self-reflection, and so here are some self-reflective questions. So I ask you to reflect, so what part of your life are you genuinely grateful for? What areas of your life do you cherish and love so deeply? And when was the last time that you ever simply just paused? Pause to take a deep breath, to look around you, to know that there are other humans in this room. And so that's the thing about life, it's that we've always been conditioned to live every single minute, every single step, going boom, 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 next thing, and next thing, right? And that gets exhausting. So we fill our days with things to do, like going to work, going to school, and all of these other hobbies that, yes, make up our experience, but I feel like sometimes we just don't recognize that we're actually going through that experience. And so I have always said, like I said, being a human is very hard, but never impossible. Because we have the ability to feel very deep within ourselves, to feel the emotion that no one can take away from us. And so if you are ever feeling lost, I encourage you to go outside, take a deep breath, acknowledge that we're surrounded by this beautiful nature, that you can go and hug a tree. I'm a tree hugger, so I'm not gonna, I'm just kidding. But remembering that you and others are going through this experience, that everyone in this room is facing hardships even at this moment, and that you're not alone in that experience, and you'll never, ever be alone. And to know that you have the AAC as a support, but that you have other students here that can help you in your journey. It just takes to say that awkward, like, hi, my name is so-and-so, these are my pronouns, right? And so as much as this world makes us feel alone, you are here existing, and that's what matters the most. So to the students who are close to the finish line, take your undergraduate experience in. Go take a walk, go to the classrooms that you were in, envision yourself of how you used to be and who you used to be, and really take a moment to reflect on the things that you are doing right now. And so to the folks that are here and about to graduate, really just take your experience in as well, right? Laugh so hard with your friends that your freaking stomach starts to hurt at the end of the night. But just in general, give yourself the opportunity to know that yes, you can make mistakes and that you will grow and learn from them, and that it is okay to know that you need support, and that it is okay to know that you can ask for help. Because that's one of the biggest challenges that I've learned here at CSU, is learning to ask for help. But to those who are not graduating and are here as a support, I encourage you to tell someone that you love them and to give them a hug, and remembering that you are doing the best that you can. And so to our graduating class of 2022, hello and congratulations. But thank you to the AAC, specifically Fabiola. I saw you come in, and I'm seeing you leave, and as I'm leaving too, but I'm honestly so proud of everything that you have done. You are an inspiration to me and a role model to me, and I'm proud of you standing here and being here as well. And so to Ricky and Stephanie for all the support that you have provided, and I leave you with this, as Frida Kahlo once said, todo puede tener belleza, aún lo más horrible. And so remember that there's always beauty where you are and in things that you will create. Thank you.
Thank you, Soleil. We really appreciate getting this opportunity to be a part of your journey and hear your reflections on your time at CSU and with the AAC. Hi, everyone. Still Tim. I'm back. I have the absolute privilege of introducing our Campus Partner Award winner for the year. We have a lot of folks that support the AAC all around campus, and we love to celebrate the stakeholders that are really here to support us and support our students. And this year, our Campus Partner Award winner is the Education Abroad Office. Education Abroad has always been extremely strong advocates for our students to ensure that education abroad programs are accessible. This year, and specifically throughout the uncertainty of the pandemic, they've really helped our staff and students navigate all of the challenges that come with travel and international travel in these times. They do a wonderful job of advising AAC students about ways they can get involved with international experiences. And they've helped to create the Education and Culture in Morocco course that we last went to in January 2020, and we've got more staff and students going in May, so woo, all righty. Lastly, we definitely want to recognize their role in the creation, maintenance, and distribution of the Global Access Award, which provides financial support for student abroad trips and sees dozens of AAC applicants each year. So Education Abroad, thank you so much. If you would come up to Ricky and Deanna's space, anybody who's here from the office to accept the award. Cue some triumphant music. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you again. Alrighty, if I could invite Fabiola and Joel up to the stage for our next segment.
All right, well, first, congratulations, Education Abroad, and again, thank you for your commitment to supporting AAC students. At this time, we are gonna move into recognizing our graduating students. If you did not have a chance to write your name on a card, we will get you a card as you're lining up. We are gonna ask graduating students to please come up and line up right here on this, my left of the stage, and the retention specialists are gonna be on this side. The way that it will work is we have your name cards. Joel and I will read the names, and we encourage everyone to cheer for the graduates. And as your name is called, we invite you to find your retention specialist who has a gift from the AAC for you. So we are going to get started shortly. So if you're a graduating student, again, just please come on up and start lining up along the front. And we're gonna, as we call your name, invite you to find your retention specialist. So don't be shy, we're here to celebrate you. All right, we're gonna get started. The first person that we have is Angelica Andrade. Maybe. Okay, maybe. Oh, you're okay. Take care of yourself. Okay, we'll come back to you. Mohammed Ahmed. No, this is. Caleb Misnya. Jocelyn Augie. Do you want to go next?
Okay, so next we have Victoria Katsuba. Julian Vasquez. Ricky Esparza. Abigail Green. Natalie Montes. Vanessa Gonzalez. Aziz Rakhmatov. David Martinez.
Mary Gebrasidik. Soleil Gonzalez. Megan Rue. Giovanni. Julia All.
Mariana Salazar. Azana Tay.
Do you have more?
No, I think they.
Did you all write your name? I'm sorry. Okay, Perla, do you want to come through? Sorry. Do you want to come? What's your name? I'm sorry. Randy. Randy Hoon. Do you have more? No. You had it. Okay, Perla. Last but not least, Perla. Did you have him?
I found Randy.
It's okay. Was there any student that we missed? Okay, awesome. Well, again, let's hear it for all of our AAC graduates. All right, now I invite Marianne and Sarah for our closing remarks.
Let's give our graduates one more round of applause. So before we close out this evening's celebration, we have one more person we'd like to recognize. As many of you know, Fabiola Mora, director of the AAC, will be transitioning to a new role at CU Boulder as a senior consultant for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Fabiola not only has had a tremendous impact on the AAC community, she has also been a critical voice in championing equity and justice at CSU, while also challenging each of us to center students in our work. She is a brilliant colleague, leader, and advocate for student success. While we will definitely miss Fabiola's presence, we are excited for this new experience that lies ahead for you. At this time, I would like to invite Fabiola up to the stage to accept a token of appreciation from the AAC.
All right, I was like, okay, I think I'm about to ugly cry in front of a room full of people. I don't know what to say. I have absolutely loved my time here at CSU. I grew up in a small town before Lupton, and Fort Lupton, and I had been to Fort Collins one time. I never imagined like what this place or this city could be like. And I ended up coming here to work with first-generation students. And I ended up loving everything about it, the students, the staff, the faculty. And during my time, I have grown immensely. I have been challenged as a professional to really think about justice and liberation within these systems that don't center those things. I have met incredible colleagues that I will miss dearly. And I have worked with the most incredible students. I went into student affairs in higher education because of students like you. I come from similar communities, and I knew that these were the students that I wanted to work with. I wanted to give back to my community, which I hear reflected in a lot of your own stories. I'm gonna miss CSU deeply. I'm going to cherish all of the moments that I've had here at CSU. And I know that I'm going to our rival school, CU Boulder, but there's a lot of important work that needs to be done there too, to support students just like yourselves. And I hope that we will stay connected in other ways. But again, I want to say thank you, and I want to say a special thank you to the AAC staff. I don't know where to say. I started in the AAC about 4 years ago, in a time where there was a lot of transition. We have done really hard work together. I have been challenged more as a professional in the AAC than I have in my entire career, for the better. You have taught me what it is to advocate for our students, even in spaces where I'm often the only Latina, the only queer Latina. I go bravely into those spaces because of the team that I have supporting me when I get back to the AAC. And for the students who need us to be advocating in those spaces. So I'm just so incredibly grateful for the AAC staff and for these two standing right to my side. We have actually known each other since college, believe it or not. And it has been incredible to work alongside them as well. And I know that the AAC is under their brilliant leadership. So again, thank you for an incredible 4 years, and I wish you all the best. And I'm just leaving with lots of bittersweet emotions. This is an experience I've loved, and I'm also excited about my next journey. So thank you for having me and the privilege of leading the AAC for the last 4 years. Thanks, everyone.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh. We want to thank each of you for being part of our program this evening. It's not just tonight that you've had an impact. Each of you has been part of these journeys, these stories, these lives who we're celebrating tonight. Each of you has given to one another in ways that made movement. Each of you has given us the reason to celebrate tonight. Our graduating students, we appreciate you and the transformation that you have brought as you begin your next chapters. Thanks for everything take everything that you have learned, everything that you are, and be the best version of yourself. Graduating student guests, we appreciate you being here in support of your students, helping celebrate them and showing your support and pride. Our current participants, we appreciate you and the curiosity you bring, the impact that you have, and the passions that you continue to build along your way. AAC staff, you are amazing. We really are blessed to get to do the work we do with the folks on our team. Campus partners and friends, we appreciate you and the connections we have, the support you provide, and the work you know must be done. Together, we make a difference. Fabiola, we appreciate you and the vision and empowerment of your leadership, mentorship, and friendship. Thank you, Fabiola. We will miss you. As we close out this beautiful evening, you'll see on your tables there's a QR code on the back of your itinerary. If you wouldn't mind taking a few minutes to complete that survey, that helps us be the best we can when we bring these events to you. We would appreciate that. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Are you ready? Okay, come on.
Thank you, Maggie.
The silent disco is about to begin. So we do have cake in the back. Feel free to grab some cake. It looks like there's still some food hanging out. The silent disco will meet up over here. Who has been to a silent disco before? So we've got like 2 experts. Nice, nice. It's new to me too, but from what I understand, you'll go over there, you'll get a headphone set. It will be tuned to a station, and there will be different stations playing. You will have your headsets on, and you'll be jamming out, and we can't wait to get pictures. No, we want to see you all celebrate and have some fun. You definitely have earned it.